Most people aren't living. They're just acting. They wake up, they go through the motions, they perform the roles they've been handed, without ever asking if it's what they truly want.
They smile when they should. They laugh when it's expected. They say the right things to fit in. But underneath it all, they're empty, dead inside, and they don't even know it. They've traded their true selves for the role they've been cast in. They think they're living, but they're just repeating what's been taught. They're performing the part that's been written for them, not creating their own script. They go to work, they chase the same goals, they follow the same routines, but none of it ever feels real. They're stuck in a loop of performing for others, seeking validation from the outside world, while their true selves remain hidden, buried beneath layers of expectations. And they can't break free, because they don't even know they're trapped. They've forgotten what it's like to feel alive, to feel authentic. They've been performing for so long, they've lost the ability to just be.
It's easy to get lost in the performance, to believe that what you're doing is real. But the moment you stop and take a breath, you realize something's missing. You start to notice the emptiness, the way you smile without feeling it, the way you speak without meaning it, the way you live without truly living. But here's the truth. You're not broken. You're just disconnected. You've been living for others, for approval, for validation, but not for you. And that's where the shift happens. When you start living for yourself. When you start creating your own life, not performing someone else's. You'll stop acting and start being. You've spent so much time trying to fit in, trying to meet their expectations, trying to make everyone happy, but at what cost? You've been performing for them, but you've been ignoring yourself. You've been living for the applause, but you've forgotten what it feels like to live for you. And it's time to stop pretending. It's time to stop wearing the mask. It's time to step into the world and say, "This is me. Take it or leave it." Because the truth is, you don't need to perform to be worthy. You don't need to follow the script they've written for you. You don't need their approval to feel alive. You just need to be. And when you embrace that truth, you'll finally start living, not for others, but for yourself.
You've been living on autopilot for so long, it's hard to remember what it felt like to feel. You've been so caught up in doing for others, in pleasing, in performing, that you've forgotten how to just exist. But now, you're beginning to see. You're starting to feel the weight of the mask, the heaviness of trying to be something you're not, and you're realizing that it's not worth it. It's not worth sacrificing yourself for their approval. It's not worth living a lie for the sake of their comfort. You don't need to act anymore. You don't need to fake it. You can just be. You can be messy. You can be real. You can be you. And that's when you start living. Not for anyone else, but for the person you were always meant to be. The world can try to convince you that you need to conform. It can try to convince you that you need to perform for their approval. But deep down, you know better. You know that the only way to truly live is to step into your power without fear. To stop pretending to be someone you're not. To stop living for others and start living for yourself. No more hiding behind the mask of, "I'm fine." No more pretending to be happy when you're not. No more following the crowd just to fit in. You are more than enough as you are. And when you start living authentically, the world around you shifts. You stop performing and start being. You stop chasing approval and start embracing your own truth. And in that moment, you become unstoppable.
You're no longer a passenger in your own life. You're the one steering the wheel now. And the moment you take control, everything shifts. The world can't keep you in the background anymore. Your voice can't be drowned out by their noise. You don't need their approval to take up space. You own that space. Every step you take is one that you've chosen. Every word you speak is one that's true to you. And every moment you breathe is a moment that belongs to your truth, not theirs. You've stopped playing by their rules. You've stopped performing for an audience that doesn't matter. And now, you're creating your own script. One where you lead. One where you don't shrink to make others comfortable, but expand to be exactly who you are meant to be. You've stopped asking for permission. You've stopped waiting for approval. You've stopped shrinking yourself to fit into their boxes. Now, you're living for you. And with every choice you make, you're taking back your power. Every word you speak is filled with the energy of someone who knows they're worthy. Every action you take is filled with the confidence of someone who's finally free. You've stopped performing to please others, and now you're living to please yourself. Not in a selfish way, but in a way that honors your true self, the self you've been hiding for too long. This is your time. This is your moment. And you're finally showing up as the person you were always meant to be.
You've realized something powerful. The more you embrace your true self, the less you care about what anyone else thinks. You've let go of the need for validation. You've let go of the fear of rejection. And in doing so, you've unlocked a freedom most people will never experience. Your confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about being unapologetically you, no matter who's watching, no matter who agrees, and no matter who disagrees. Now, you walk through life with a quiet power, because you no longer need to shout to be heard. Your presence is felt in silence, your actions speak louder than words, and your truth is undeniable. You've stopped performing for the world, and now you're simply living for yourself. You've stepped into your full power, and it's not about being loud. It's not about being the center of attention. It's about presence. You've learned that the loudest person in the room isn't always the most powerful. The most powerful person in the room is the one who is grounded, the one who knows their worth, the one who no longer seeks validation because they have nothing to prove. You've stopped pretending to be something you're not. You've stopped dimming your light to make others comfortable. Now, you shine brightly, not for others to see, but because it's the only way you know how to exist. And in that light, you no longer need approval. You no longer need permission. You are free, and nothing can take that away from you. You no longer wait for the world to approve of you. You no longer seek the validation of others to feel worthy. You know that the only opinion that matters is your own. You don't need to chase success. You don't need to chase anything. You simply stand in your truth, and everything else falls into place. You've stopped running from your power. You've stopped pretending you're small. And now, you walk with the confidence that comes from knowing that you are enough. The world may still try to push you down. It may still try to label you, but now you see it for what it is, a reflection of their own fear. And you You don't have to fight for space anymore. You've carved out your place in the world. You are already enough. This is where the real journey begins. Not the one that follows everyone else's path, but the one that's uniquely yours. The path where you no longer ask for permission, where you no longer care about fitting in. You walk forward with the confidence of someone who has nothing to prove. You speak with the clarity of someone who knows their worth. And you live with the freedom of someone who has stopped caring about what others think. You are unstoppable. Not because the world has opened doors for you, but because you've learned how to build your own doors. You've learned how to create the life you want, not the one they've written for you. You're no longer performing. You're no longer pretending. You're simply being. And that is the most powerful thing you can ever do.